I never thought life could betray me so suddenly. One moment I was laughing with my friends at the rooftop cafe, the city lights sparkling below us. The next, I was staring at a message on my phone that made my chest tighten and my stomach drop. "Jake, you won't believe what I just found out," Sarah said, her voice shaking. "What is it?" I asked, thinking it was some minor gossip. I smiled, trying to hide the unease creeping in. It's about Emma." Her eyes wouldn't meet mine. "Emma? What about her?" My heart beat faster, but I tried to keep calm. She's been seeing someone else. Not just anyone, Mark." I laughed nervously. "You're joking." "Emma wouldn't, Mark. That's impossible." Sarah shook her head. "I wouldn't lie, Jake. I saw the messages myself. Pictures. Everything." I dropped my phone. "No. This isn't real. She wouldn't do this to me. Not Emma." My voice cracked, though I tried to steady it. "Jake, I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to find out like this." I ran my hands through my hair, pacing. I trusted her. I trusted everyone. How could she betray me like this? How could I have been so blind? Sarah reached out. "You didn't see the signs. Nobody could have. You're not at fault." I looked at her, tears threatening to fall. "It doesn't feel like that. It feels like my whole world just collapsed." A knock on the door startled me. It was Emma. Her face was pale, her eyes wide. "Jake, I can explain," she said, stepping inside. I turned sharply. "Explain? Explain what, Emma? Explain how you could do this to me." She swallowed hard. "It wasn't what it looks like. Please just listen." "Listen? How can I listen after everything I see here? Messages, pictures, the betrayal." My voice rose, shaking with anger. Emma's hands trembled. I made a mistake. I never meant to hurt you." "Mistake? Do you know what it feels like to be blindsided by someone you love? Do you?" I took a deep breath, trying to calm the whirlwind inside me. I can't even trust myself anymore. I don't know what to think. Sarah stepped closer. "Jake, maybe we should take a moment. Just breathe." I shook my head. "No. I need to know why. I need to understand why Emma would do this, why Mark, why everything." Emma's voice broke. I was lonely. I felt ignored. I didn't know how to tell you." You didn't know how to tell me?" I laughed bitterly. "You didn't know how to tell me that you were lying to my face? That you were betraying me?" Her shoulders slumped, tears falling freely. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." I stepped back, heart pounding. "Sorry isn't enough, Emma. Nothing is enough. I thought we were perfect. I thought I could trust you completely. And now?" I trailed off, staring at the floor. Sarah touched my arm gently. "It's going to hurt now, Jake, but you'll survive. You'll get through this." I nodded, though my chest ached. My perfect life, my carefully built world, had crumbled in an instant. And I had no idea how to pick up the pieces. I didn't know how to face the world. Every corner of my apartment reminded me of Emma. Her laugh, her perfume, even the mug she left in the sink. I sank into the couch, my hands shaking. "Jake? You okay?" Sarah's voice came from the doorway. "I don't know if I am," I admitted, staring at the floor. "I feel empty, betrayed. Everything I believed in gone." She stepped closer. "You're not alone, you know. You have people who care about you." I laughed bitterly. "Care? Care doesn't fix the fact that she lied to me for months. That she smiled while tearing my trust apart." Sarah frowned. "I know. But holding on to all that anger alone will eat you alive. You have to, I don't know, talk about it." "Talk about it?" I scoffed. "Talking doesn't undo the betrayal. Talking doesn't bring back the trust one gave her. It just reminds me of what I lost." "Then what do you want to do?" Sarah asked gently. I leaned back, closing my eyes. I want to understand why. I want to see her feel even a fraction of what I'm feeling." She shook her head. "Jake, revenge won't make you whole. You'll just end up hurting yourself more." "I don't care about hurting myself." I snapped, my voice shaking. I can't let this go. Not yet." "Then let's start small. Let's figure out what you need to survive this, step by step," she said calmly. I opened my eyes and met hers. Survive, that's all it feels like right now. I'm walking through a storm with no idea where it ends. She nodded. It's okay to feel lost. But you're stronger than you realize. You've survived tough times before. I rubbed my face trying to stop the tears. It doesn't feel like strength. Feels like weakness. Like I trusted the wrong person. Like I failed myself. You didn't fail, she said firmly. Emma's choices don't define your worth. They reflect hers. And maybe this is a chance for you to take control. Your life, your choices, your everything. I swallowed hard. Take control. I like the sound of that. Sarah smiled faintly. Then start with small victories. Regain your routine. Do things for yourself. Let the betrayal fuel your growth, not your despair. I nodded slowly, my chest heavy but slightly lighter than before. Okay, I'll try. I'll try to take back some power, even if it's just over my own life right now. She reached out, squeezing my shoulder. That's the first step. One day you'll see that betrayal wasn't the end. It's a turning point. I exhaled, the tension easing slightly. Turning point, maybe that's true. Maybe this pain is just the beginning of something else. Something I can control. And for the first time since the truth hit me, I felt the tiniest spark of something I hadn't allowed myself to feel, hope. The next few days blurred together. I woke up with my chest tight, went to work with my stomach empty, and came home to silence that felt louder than any scream. Mia checked in every night. One evening she said, "You can't keep going like this. Please talk to someone, Arya." "I'm fine," I lied. She shook her head. "You're disappearing." That word hit me harder than I expected. Disappearing. So the next morning I made an appointment. When I sat across from Dr. Lane, my fingers twisted in my lap. She spoke softly. "Tell me what you feel right now." "I don't know," I whispered. "Empty? Wrong? Like something in me cracked." She nodded. "What makes you think that?" "Ethan," I said. "The things he said, it made me feel like I wasn't enough. Like I was replaceable." "Do you believe you are?" she asked. I swallowed. "I think I'm starting to." She leaned forward slightly. "Feelings lie sometimes. Pain lies too." I stared at the floor. "Then why does it feel so real?" "Because love makes wounds feel deeper," she said. "But deep doesn't mean true." Her words stayed with me long after the session ended. When I got home, a text from Ethan waited on my phone. "I need to pick up my stuff. I'll be there in 20 minutes. My body went cold. When he knocked, I opened the door with a stiff breath. He walked inside, eyes scanning everything like he was already a stranger. "I'll be quick," he said. "Just do whatever you need to," I replied. He picked up his backpack, some shirts, a box he kept in my closet. He barely looked at me until he said, "We need to talk." I froze. "About what?" "Clara," he said like it was nothing. A pressure built behind my ribs. "What about her?" He sighed. "I didn't want it to happen, but I have feelings for her." I felt myself sway. "Feelings," I repeated. "So everything you said about being tired of me, about her making you feel alive, all true?" "Arya, don't make it sound cruel," he muttered. "It just happened." "It didn't just happen," I snapped. "You let it happen. You encouraged it." He looked annoyed. "See? This is why things fell apart. You overreact to everything." A bitter laugh escaped me. "I'm overreacting to betrayal? You're making me the villain," he said. "You made yourself the villain," I replied quietly. He ran a hand through his hair. "I don't want to fight. I just want us to end things peacefully." "Peace," I whispered. "You shattered me, Ethan. There was never going to be peace." He sighed again, tired of me like always. "You'll move on." Something inside me cracked, not softly but in a harsh, final way. "I already am," I said. He looked surprised, maybe even offended, but I didn't care. When he left and the door clicked shut, I felt the pain tighten again. But this time there was something else beneath it. A spark. A choice. A beginning. The morning I decided to breathe again, it didn't feel dramatic. Just felt necessary. I sat in Dr. Lane's office, hands wrapped around a warm cup of tea she'd offered. She asked, "What made you come back today?" "I don't want to feel like this anymore," I said. "I feel like I handed Ethan all the power over my life." "What makes you think it was his to take?" she asked gently. I hesitated. "Because I loved him more than he loved me." She shook her head slowly. Loving someone doesn't mean surrendering yourself. You can take that power back. How? I whispered. By choosing yourself. Even in small steps. Her words settled deep inside me. When I walked out, my breathing felt a little steadier. Later that afternoon, Noah texted. Walk. You need air. I agreed. When we met outside my building, he looked at me closely. You look tired, he said. I'm trying, I replied. He nodded. I know. But you're stronger than you think. I don't feel strong. You will, he said. Remember how you used to talk about your dreams? You had this fire in you. I miss seeing that. I stared at the sidewalk. I miss her too. We walked in silence for a bit before he spoke again. Ethan didn't break you. He just distracted you from yourself. I inhaled sharply. Why does that feel like the truth? Because it is, he said. You don't have to be the version of you he preferred. Something in his tone made my chest ache, but it wasn't pain, it was recognition. The next day at work, Mr. Rowan approached my desk. Arya, can we talk in my office for a moment? My stomach twisted, but I followed him. When he sat down, he smiled kindly. I've been watching your work. You're sharp, consistent, and calm under pressure. I thank you, I said quietly. I have a small project that needs someone steady, he continued. I trust you with it. You trust me. Yes, he said. You should trust yourself too. Those words hit me harder than I expected. I won't let you down. I know you won't. When I stepped out of his office, I felt a strange warmth in my chest. Something like pride. Something like breath returning. As I walked home that evening, my phone buzzed with a message from Clara. He told me everything. I hope you don't make this messy. I stared at the screen. My fingers trembled, not from fear, just exhaustion. I typed nothing. I deleted nothing. I simply locked my phone and put it back in my bag. Ignoring her wasn't weakness. It was control. When I reached my apartment, I stood inside the doorway, my breath slow and even. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel like I was sinking. I whispered to myself, I'm still here. It wasn't confidence. Not yet. But it was a beginning, my beginning. When I walked into the office Monday morning, the whispers hit me before the coffee did. I heard someone murmur. Ethan and Clara were yelling in the parking lot. Another voice added, Didn't take long, did it? I kept walking, pretending I didn't hear anything. But inside my chest there was a strange heaviness, part sadness, part relief. I whispered to myself, I shouldn't care. I don't care. But I did. Just not in the way I used to. At lunch, Mia sat across from me and leaned in. So, you've heard the rumors, right? I'm not listening to rumors, I said. She raised a brow. You're trying not to listen. I sighed. Fine. What did you hear? That she accused him of still being hung up on you. Loudly. I blinked. Why would she think that? Mia shrugged. People who steal partners always fear being replaced the same way. I let out a soft laugh. That's actually true. My phone buzzed then and the screen lit up with Ethan's name. Mia stared. You gonna answer? No, I said, letting it ring. A minute later, a voicemail came in. I didn't listen. I didn't need to. Later that evening, while I was sorting through paperwork at home, my phone buzzed again. This time with a text from Clara. If you think you can get him back, stop trying. He's with me now. I actually laughed. Out loud, real laughter for the first time since everything happened. She thinks I want him back? I muttered. I typed nothing. I deleted nothing. I just tossed my phone onto the couch. A little while later, Ethan called again. I stared at the screen and whispered, Why now? Then I rejected the call. He didn't get to check on me. He didn't get the version of me he threw away. The next day at work, Mr. Rowan passed my desk. Arya, that report you did? Excellent work. I smiled politely. Thank you. I'm trying my best. And succeeding, he said before walking off. Small wins. Small breaths. Little pieces of myself returning. When I got home, Noah was waiting outside my building with 2 cups of hot chocolate. You looked stressed earlier, he said. Thought you might need this. You didn't have to, I said softly. I wanted to, he replied. How are you holding up? I'm trying to focus on myself. That's good, he said. I heard some stuff about Ethan and Clara, but I didn't bring it up because I don't want you thinking about them. Thank you, I whispered. But honestly, I'm okay. He studied me for a moment. You know, I'm proud of you. The words landed gently, unexpected, warm. Really? Yeah, he said with a small smile. You're getting stronger. I can see it. I looked down at the cup in my hands and felt something settle inside me. Not anger, not heartbreak. Just peace. And for the first time I believed I deserved it. I was halfway through reorganizing a file when Mia leaned over my desk and whispered, "You're not gonna believe this. Ethan bombed his presentation today." I blinked. He did? He never bombs presentations. Exactly, she said. He froze. Completely. And Mr. Rowan had to step in. I felt a strange stillness instead of satisfaction. Well, that's unfortunate. Mia studied my face. You don't seem surprised. I'm not, I admitted. He always fell apart when things didn't go his way. Later during my break, Elise approached me by the vending machine. Can we talk? Privately. My stomach tightened, but I nodded. We stepped into an empty conference room, and she exhaled shakily. Clara's losing her mind. She vents to me every day. I raised my brows. About Ethan? Yes, she said. She says he's moody, distracted, and constantly accusing her of things. Yesterday he asked if she was too friendly with a barista. Over a smile. I let out a low breath. That sounds familiar. Elise sat down across from me. She even said, he used to be different with Arya. And I told her no, he didn't change. You just didn't see it yet. A tight laugh slipped out. Wow. She's exhausted, Elise continued. She said he keeps asking if you've reached out. He swears he's not thinking about you, but she doesn't believe him. I leaned back in the chair. I'm not responsible for any of that. Not anymore. She nodded gently. I figured you'd say that. Honestly, good for you. When she left, I sat alone for a moment, letting the silence settle. For the first time, I didn't feel pulled back into Ethan's chaos. I felt free of it. That evening, Mia came over to my apartment with takeout. Okay, she said, plopping onto my couch. Guilt detox time. I groaned. Do we have to call it that? Yes, she insisted. Repeat after me. His emotions are not my responsibility. I rolled my eyes. Mia. Say it. I sighed. Fine. His emotions are not my responsibility. Louder. I smirked. His emotions are not my responsibility. Good, she said. Now how do you feel? Honestly? Lighter than I expected. She nudged my shoulder. That's the point. The next day, Dr. Lane listened quietly as I explained everything Elise told me. When I finished, she folded her hands and said, And how did hearing that make you feel? I didn't feel guilty, I said. Or sad. I just felt done. She smiled softly. Healing isn't forgetting, Arya. It's choosing not to carry the pain anymore. I looked at her, the words sinking deeper than I expected. Is that really possible? It is, she said. And you're already doing it. When I walked out of her office, the air felt different, cleaner, easier to breathe. For the first time since the breakup, I believed I wasn't tied to Ethan anymore. His life was falling apart, but it wasn't my burden to fix. My shoulders felt lighter as I whispered to myself, I'm finally letting go. I had just stepped out of the building when I heard someone call my name. Arya, wait, please. I closed my eyes for a moment. Ethan, what do you want? He rushed up to me, breath unsteady. I need to talk. I messed up. I shouldn't have left the way I did. I shouldn't have chosen. Stop, I said sharply. I'm not doing this. He flinched. Just hear me out. I can fix it. We can fix us. There is no us. Before he could respond, Clara stormed toward us, heels stabbing the pavement. Of course you're here, she snapped at me. I knew you were trying to steal him back. I stared at her, tired of the theatrics. Clara, I don't want him. Her face twisted. You're lying, he said he still thinks about you. That's between you and him, I said calmly. Not me. She rounded on Ethan. You told me she didn't matter. He groaned. Clara, can we not do this here? No, she shouted. You dragged me into your mess. Go ahead, tell her what you told me last night. I took a step back. I'm not staying for this. Clara sneered. Running away? Of course. I met her glare and replied simply, I'm walking away. There's a difference. Then I turned and left them arguing behind me, their voices rising until they blended with the traffic. For the first time, their chaos didn't hook into my emotions. It slid right past me. Inside the office, Mr. Rowan caught me on my way to my desk. Arya, he said, adjusting his glasses. I've been reviewing your project notes. I braced myself. Is there a problem? Quite the opposite, he said. Your structure is clean, thoughtful, and efficient. I'd like you to lead the expansion phase. My jaw dropped. Me? Yes. You've earned it. He gave a small nod. Keep this up, and I see a strong future for you here. Thank you, I whispered. The words warmed something inside me I thought was dead. After work, I walked home slowly, letting the evening breeze cool my skin. At the corner near my street, Noah appeared with 2 coffees in hand. Bad day? He asked. Strange day, I said. But not bad. He handed me a cup. Want to talk about it? Ethan showed up, I admitted. Begging. Clara accused me of trying to take him back. He raised an eyebrow. And you? I told her I didn't want him. Then I walked away. Noah exhaled with quiet approval. That's huge for you. I know, I said softly. I didn't feel shaken. Just done. We stopped under the streetlight, its glow washing everything in a soft gold. Noah studied my face. You look different. Lighter. Really? Yeah, he said. Peace suits you. I felt a gentle warmth spread through my chest. Maybe I'm finally learning how to keep it. He smiled. Keep going. You're doing better than you think. As we stood there, sipping warm coffee beneath the fading sky, I realized he was right. Peace did look good on me, and I wasn't letting anyone take it away again. I saw him leaning against the wall, face pale and wet. Arya. I messed up. She used me. I miss us. Ethan stammered, voice breaking. I took a steadying breath. Ethan, listen to me. I won't be part of this anymore. He shook his head, tears spilling down. I didn't know it would feel like this without you. I thought I wanted her, but it's you I keep thinking about. You're everything I ever. Stop, I said quietly, firm but calm. Stop before you convince yourself I'll change my mind. I'm choosing me now. My life. My peace. He blinked, disbelief flashing across his face. You mean it? I do. I've lived for everyone else too long. I can't live for someone who left me behind. How can you just? His voice cracked. Don't you feel anything? I do. I feel clarity. And freedom. I feel strong enough to walk away from someone who hurt me without regret. Ethan's lips trembled. I never realized you're not broken like I thought. I'm not broken, I said firmly. I was hurt, but I survived. And now I'll thrive. He pressed his hands against his face. I didn't mean to, Clara. I don't care about her, I interrupted. This isn't about her. This is about me. But us, we are finished, Ethan. You made your choice. I'm making mine. He slumped, the fight leaving him. I can't believe it. I stepped back. Believe it. And let it go. For both our sakes. He looked at me one last time, something like regret, and maybe admiration, flickering in his eyes. Then he turned and left. I sank onto the couch, letting my hands cover my face. For a moment, everything felt heavy again. The hurt, the memories, the longing. They all rushed in uninvited. I allowed myself a single deep breath and let it out slowly. Arya. Noah's voice was soft, comforting, familiar. I didn't answer right away. I just let the tears fall. He knelt beside me, arms open. I'm here. You're not alone. I curled against him, my shoulders shaking. I thought I could never feel okay again. You will, he whispered. You're allowed to cry, but don't forget. This pain is proof you survived. And now you're free to start your life. I closed my eyes against his shoulder. I never want to go back. Not for anyone. Not for him. You won't, Noah said. I'll make sure of it. You're stronger than you realize. For the first time that night, I believed him. I whispered. Thank you for staying. Always, he said. And I realized walking away didn't mean losing. It meant finally finding myself. The project presentation ended, and the room erupted in applause. I felt my chest rise with a mix of pride and relief. I did this. I truly did this. Arya, that was incredible, Grace said, approaching me with a smile. I don't know how you do it, but you make it look effortless. You inspire me. I blinked surprised. Inspire you? Yes. You handle pressure, setbacks, and still shine. I hope I can be like that someday. I smiled genuinely for the first time in months. Thank you, Grace. That means more than you know. As she walked away, my phone buzzed. Ethan. Of course. I read his message. Can we talk? I miss you. Please. I stared at it, fingers hovering. Then I typed. I've moved on, Ethan. Please respect that. He replied instantly. You don't understand. I made a mistake. I need you. I exhaled slowly. I do understand. I understand exactly who I am now. And it's not someone who bends for you anymore. The phone went silent for a moment, as if he didn't know what to say. I didn't wait for his reply. I set it down and returned to the small group of co-workers discussing the project results. Arya, you're handling all of this so well. Grace whispered again, catching my attention. You're different. Stronger. I looked at her, realizing she was right. I was different. Stronger. Not because of anyone else, because I decided to be. Later, I ran into Ethan in the hallway. He froze when he saw me. His expression wavered between hope and guilt. Arya, he began, voice low. I'm busy, I interrupted, voice steady, polite. I've got work to do. You should take care of yours. He opened his mouth, closed it again, searching for words. You changed. I did. And you had no part in it. I learned to stand on my own. But No, Ethan. This isn't about you anymore. It's about me. Don't try to pull me back into something that's already gone. He nodded slowly, finally seeming to accept it. I turned and walked away, shoulders squared. That evening I sat at my desk reviewing my notes. Noah's text popped up. Proud of you today. Keep being amazing. I smiled, fingers typing back quickly. Thanks. I'm learning to be proud of me too. The truth hit me softly, like a sunrise over dark clouds. I didn't need approval. I didn't need validation. I didn't need anyone to define me. I was becoming someone stronger, someone I could trust, someone whole. For the first time I felt it fully. I was unstoppable. I saw them from across the office, Ethan and Clara, arguing again. Their voices carried, sharp and bitter, like knives thrown carelessly. You ruined everything. Clara shouted. I didn't ruin anything. You just can't admit you made a mistake. Ethan fired back, flustered. I kept walking, pretending not to hear. Their chaos didn't touch me anymore. I'd stepped out of that storm and I wasn't going back. Later, Mr. Rowan knocked on my office door. Arya, can I have a moment? Of course, I said, straightening in my chair. I've been watching your work. Your project results are impressive. I want to offer you the chance to lead a bigger team. More responsibility, bigger impact. I believe you can handle it. My chest lifted, a spark of excitement growing inside me. You really think I can? I don't just think it, Arya. I know it. I smiled, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. Thank you, Mr. Rowan. I won't let you down. That's what I like to hear, he said with a small grin before leaving me to breathe in the quiet confidence settling around me. At lunch, Mia met me at the cafe. So you're leading a bigger project now? She asked, eyes wide. I am, I said, trying not to laugh. Can you believe it? I can, she said, smiling knowingly. You've earned it. Look at you. Actually choosing yourself. We toasted our coffee cups. To choosing ourselves, I said. To finally getting out of the drama, she added, and we both laughed. It felt light, like the first warm breeze after a long winter. Later, Noah stopped by the cafe, leaning against the counter casually. Mind if I join? He asked, and I shook my head. Of course not. We talked for hours about projects, books, dreams. I realized he wasn't just a friend, he was my calm place. I didn't know life could feel peaceful and exciting at the same time, I admitted. He smiled softly. Sometimes you have to choose the right people and the right moments. Then the rest just follows. I felt it, a steady hope growing. Not the hollow kind that comes from someone else's approval, but the real kind, the hope I built myself. My phone buzzed. It was Ethan. I didn't even open it. I didn't need his chaos. I had my own life now, one I was shaping. Ready for the next step? Noah asked. I nodded, taking a deep breath. I've never been more ready. We walked out into the afternoon sun, and for the first time in months, I felt a lightness inside me. Clara and Ethan could fight and stumble all they wanted. I was choosing me, and that choice was everything. For the first time, I truly felt hopeful. There was a knock at my door, soft but deliberate. I peeked through the peephole and saw Ethan standing there, his face pale, eyes red. My stomach twisted, but I opened the door. Arya, can I come in? He asked, voice trembling. I stepped aside silently. He entered, clutching a small folder like it held the answers to everything. I need to say something. He started, pacing nervously. I've been thinking, regretting every single day since I hurt you. I was selfish, stupid, blind. I know, I said quietly, keeping my voice even. He stopped and looked at me, a flicker of hope in his eyes. You don't understand. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Clara, she wasn't you. She never could be you. Ethan, I interrupted gently, holding up a hand. I don't hate you. I never wanted to hate you. But I don't want you in my life anymore. That choice, that's mine. His face fell. The hope drained, replaced by something heavier. You don't even care how sorry I am? I care that you hurt me. I care that I trusted you. But I've spent too long carrying your mistakes. I'm done. Tears filled his eyes. I can't fix this, can I? No, I said softly. Not for me. You had your chance. It's over. He sank onto the edge of my couch, shoulders shaking. I never wanted to break you like this. I swear I never. I knelt down slightly to meet his gaze. You chose to hurt me, and now you have to live with it. I don't need to carry your guilt for you. His hands trembled as he covered his face. I stood and walked to the door. Goodbye, Ethan. He looked up, voice cracking. Please. I shook my head. I've made my peace. You need to make yours. I closed the door gently, hearing his quiet sobs fade down the hallway. The weight in my chest lifted just a little. The past had its hold, but now I was stepping out of it. My phone buzzed. A message from Noah. Are you okay? I smiled, fingers hovering before typing back. I am now. Thank you. He replied instantly, good. That's all I wanted to hear. I leaned against the door, breathing in the evening air. The guilt, the heartbreak, the endless nights of wondering. Everything that Ethan left behind was finally gone. I wasn't angry. I wasn't sad anymore. I was free. For the first time in months, my heart felt light. No whispers of regret. No haunting reminders. Just me. Just my choice. I sent another message to Noah. Let's grab coffee tomorrow. I need to talk about everything I'm not feeling. His reply came with a smiling emoji. I'll be there. I laughed quietly to myself. Not a bitter laugh, not a sad one. A laugh that belonged to me, that marked the start of a new life. And in that moment I realized, the past was over, the pain was mine to release, and my heart was finally free. I sat across from Dr. Lane, her notebook resting on her lap. So Arya, how do you feel today? She asked, her voice calm, patient. I shrugged, a small smile tugging at my lips. Different. Lighter, maybe. Less trapped. That's progress, she said. You've spent months untangling yourself from what wasn't yours to carry. How does it feel to realize you're not responsible for his choices? I laughed softly, a sound I hadn't heard in weeks. Freeing. Honestly, it feels like breathing for the first time. That's exactly it, Dr. Lane said. You're reclaiming your life. And that includes your happiness, your pace, your boundaries. I nodded, thinking of Noah. I hadn't realized how much I craved simple companionship without fear. I've been scared. Scared to want something new. Scared to trust myself. But I think I want to try. With him. Dr. Lane smiled gently. That's wonderful. Fear isn't a weakness. It's just the last thing you're leaving behind. Later that evening, Noah came over. We sat on the rooftop, the city lights sparkling below us. Silence stretched comfortably between us until he broke it. You seem different, he said, eyes soft. Happier. I think I am, I admitted, leaning back against the cool railing. I've spent so long trying to fix things I couldn't, trying to hold on to people who wouldn't stay. I'm done. He reached for my hand, thumb brushing my knuckles. And now I focus on me. On what I want, on what scares me but excites me, I said, squeezing his hand lightly. I'm scared, Noah, but I'm willing to try. He smiled, eyes warm. Then we'll move together. Your pace. Always. I felt a wave of calm, the kind that settles deep in your chest and refuses to budge. I've forgotten how this feels, I whispered. The warmth instead of fear. He laughed softly. I'm glad I'm here for it. We watched the lights for a while. I let myself notice the simple things, wind brushing my hair, the faint hum of the city, the way his hand fit mine. These were the moments I'd ignored while trapped in heartbreak. I've started to love myself again, I said quietly. Not in a loud way. Not perfectly. But enough to know I'm worth protecting, worth investing in, worth living fully. Noah squeezed my hand. And you are. You fought hard, Arya. You've rebuilt yourself brick by brick. And now, I said, standing and looking at him, I choose my future. Mine. I'm not scared to see what comes next. He grinned, a mix of relief and admiration in his eyes. Then let's see it together. I leaned against him, letting the night wrap around us. For the first time in months, I wasn't running, hiding, or hurting. I was here, alive, and finally ready to step forward. My rebuilding wasn't complete, but the foundation was strong. And this time it was all mine. I stared at the email on my screen, heart hammering. Promotion approved, it said. I blinked. Then I read it again. I whispered to myself, I did it. I really did it. Noah popped his head around the office doorway. You okay in there? He asked, concern soft in his voice. I got it, I said, voice trembling. The promotion. They actually approved it. His grin lit up the room. That's amazing. I knew you could do it. I laughed, a little shaky. I can't believe this is real. I thought I'd never feel this proud of myself again. He stepped closer. You've earned every bit of it. Every late night, every moment you doubted yourself. This is yours. I let myself breathe, savoring the moment. Then my phone buzzed. Ethan. I froze. One message. I hope you find happiness. I'm sorry. I stared at it, feeling nothing. Not anger. Not hurt. Only peace. I typed nothing. Deleted nothing. I didn't need to respond. Noah leaned against the desk. He finally understands what? He asked quietly. That some things can't be fixed. Some choices can't be undone. And that I'm better off, I said. He nodded. And you are. Stronger than before. And happy finally. I smiled, a warmth spreading through me. I am. I really am. That evening, Noah met me at my apartment. The city lights twinkled, quiet around us. I stepped out onto the balcony, letting the night wind wash over me. You did it, he said, reaching for my hand. I took it, firmly, confidently. Not fear, not hesitation. Just certainty. We did it, I corrected. I mean, I've done it. And I want to share it with someone who actually believes in me. He squeezed my hand gently. Always. I'll always believe in you. I leaned back against the railing, letting the feeling sink in. For the first time, it wasn't just relief or survival. It was joy. Quiet, steady, unshakable joy. I can't believe how far I've come, I murmured. I survived the heartbreak, the lies, the fear. And now look at this. Look at me. He laughed softly. I see her, Arya. The woman he can't forget. I tilted my head, a teasing grin on my face. He might think that. But the difference now? I don't need him to see me. I see myself. He smiled and I felt it, the solid, safe feeling of being seen, truly seen. And proud? He asked. More than proud, I said. I'm unstoppable now. The night stretched before us, quiet and full of possibility. And for the first time, I didn't feel like a survivor. I felt like a woman who had won back her life, her future, her joy. I didn't just heal. I became someone I'm proud to be.